Just think about the last time you went to a doctor. They asked you a bunch of questions, they checked your BP, etc. Then they gave you a diagnosis.
Right.
Now, after they gave you a diagnosis and you accepted the diagnosis, let's say they prescribed medicine. Did you question the doctor on the medicine, or did you just buy what the doctor told you?
Just bought.
Yeah. The reason that happens is not just because we trust people in white coats, but because welcome to Jigsaw Hot Seat, where we coach founders live. So it's not just them learning, it's you too. Now we go to, okay, how do we turn this inquiry into money in the bank? Okay. And for this, basically, something that we've used previously a lot is basically a high value sales funnel. I'll just give you the headline steps of this. Okay. The first step is that you must qualify the lead right at the very beginning. So typically what we all do is we get an inquiry, then we get excited that we've got an inquiry, then we go potential client and we just start figuring out the most customized proposal, etc. And then for the next 6 months, we're like, maybe they'll come back.
Right.
First thing we have to do is qualify them. When I say qualify, it means find out from them whether they actually have the need for this or they're just browsing around.
Okay.
Whether they have the ability to pay what your prices are, we have to understand and get a signal of that.
Okay.
And third, we have to understand the urgency with which they actually want this, so that your sales cycle is not 9 months to close this client.
Right.
Okay, so you understand this. If they have the need, the ability, and the urgency, they are qualified. If they don't have one of these three, they are not qualified.
Okay.
So let's say you have a form that finds this out, or on a call, in 5 minutes, you ask questions that get you these answers. The end of this will tell you, you will have an opportunity to tell them whether they are qualified or not.
Okay.
So typically a really simple way to make sure clients don't get like offended you're asking them these questions is to tell them, thank you for getting in touch. Before we decide how to work together, we should decide if it makes sense to go through this journey together.
Okay.
This is an if call.
Okay.
Can I ask you some questions to figure out if we are the right fit?
Okay.
Right? And so you start figuring out the if.
Okay.
If they are not a fit, you should tell them that they are not a fit because of this. So you should call out and tell them, hey, it seems like you need this. And of course, we do the project well together and you have a budget as well. But it does not feel like a priority to you. And I mobilize an entire team to get my projects done within 6 months, a year, whatever it is.
Right.
So I think, have I understood that right? Is it a priority for you right now? Will you be able to commit the resources and time to sort of get it done? If they say no, then you say, well, then you should come back to me later, no problem.
Okay.
And we have to be okay with that, because every moment you are spending on the wrong lead is less time spent on the right lead. So let's say I'm the wrong lead and I'm eating up all of your time, and the right lead comes along, but you can't give them special attention because you're also spending time with me. You've lost the right client because you're like, no, but maybe, I can change Rashid for the better. It's not going to happen.
Right.
So once you've qualified the lead, you need to take your clients through, or your prospects rather, through a process we call the 4 Ds. Okay, so the first thing you have to do is you need to actually tell them that we are going to go through this process. You don't have to call it 4 Ds for them, but you have to tell them this is the process. Okay, the first step is discover. Now, discover is basically what I'm sure you do anyway, which is ask an awful lot of questions of the client to understand exactly what they care about, what they don't care about, what their goals are, what the challenges are, requirements are, etc. Right? So that is the discovery phase.
Okay.
The second thing is you have to do a diagnosis. So you have to diagnose based on all of the answers they give you. You have to be able to tell them in one statement. So, as I understand it, this is your goal.
Okay.
Like your goal is to achieve this despite why. Have I understood it right?
Right. Got
Okay.
it.
And it doesn't have to be linked to your overall marketing. It just has to be for them. Okay. So what I am understanding is you need to change your house from being young couple friendly to young child friendly.
Okay.
Have I got it?
Okay.
So you have to take all of their questions and answers and turn it into one powerful statement. Okay. Now, the most you can do is 1 to 3 statements. Anything more than this, and if you make it a list, the value of the list gets over. So if you come back and say, okay, so you want these 18 things done, that's not adding a lot of value. That also is reducing your value because you're starting to say, okay, these are my deliverables. But if you say these are the 3 overarching things, suddenly you're the strategist. And so I value you much more highly.
Got it.
The reason why diagnosis is so important is just think about the last time you went to a doctor. They asked you a bunch of questions, they checked your BP, etc. Then they gave you a diagnosis.
Right.
Now, after they gave you a diagnosis and you accepted the diagnosis, let's say they prescribed medicine. Did you question the doctor on the medicine or did you just buy what the doctor told you?
Just part.
Yeah. The reason that happens is not just because we trust people in white coats, but because the way the human brain works, you trust the person who diagnoses the problem to serve you the solution.
Right.
So even though those are 2 different skill sets, my brain automatically goes, you help me figure out the problem, so you must be able to help me with the solution automatically.
Yeah.
So very, very important to get this right. Most people skip the step and go from, oh, I have your questions, here's my proposal. This step is crucial.
Right.
And you have to get your clients to say, yes, I agree, this is the diagnosis. Because if they do, then they'll buy the croissant. Okay? The next step is you need to demonstrate. Demonstrate is not doing like a free project or anything like that. Demonstrate is showing them, not telling them, but showing them how you can help them solve this diagnosis. So whether that is showing them screenshots, whether that is showing them a folder of another client and the journey you took them through, whether that is taking them to a site that you're working on right now to show them, they have to see how you help solve these type of problems, because human brains do not remember what you tell them, they remember what you show them. Which is why we're doing chart paper and I'm not just talking at you for 2 hours. Right? Because you're more likely to remember this now that it's shown. Okay, so demonstrate is next. And finally, you have to help them decide. Normally what we do is we discover, we diagnose, we demonstrate, then we leave the decision up to the client. And we say, hey, we've done our job. Now decide. When you are the expert in your space, and they don't understand that space as much as you do, and it's filled with complexity, there must be a bunch of things they don't know that stops them from making a decision, whether it's yes or no, which is why most people are like, I'll get back to you in a few days, I'll follow up, oh, I need conversation with my mother, with my sister, with my brother, oh, now it's work time. It's because the decision's so complicated in their head that they think they need a lot of time, when what they need is information. So this part, you do not hand the reins over to the client. You still keep the reins and say, now we're going to figure out our decision together. And so we ask them questions like, is the diagnosis correct? Have I demonstrated that I can solve it? If you are still hesitant, what are you hesitant about? What are the blockers in your way? And then when they share, we have an opportunity to at least engage in it and say, okay, you're thinking about price. And then we have an opportunity to talk to them about price versus value and all of these types of things. If we just say, here's the demonstration, here's the proposal, let me know, then we're only going to be sending emails saying, hi, X, hope you are well, just checking in. That email has to stop. Okay, so that's the 4 phases. Now, the reason why I've put this all out here is you have to tell your client once you qualify them that this is the journey they are going to go on. So the client knows what to expect, because we like information and clarity. If you are able to give me clarity in the sales process, what's happening in my mind is Ashwini gives me clarity. And so if I value clarity in the overall project, I will go, well, Ashwini's sales process was like, I was clear at all times. She was in communication. She was process oriented. She told me what's happening. She was a team member with me for the decision. All of those things play a part in making a high value decision, right? So this is what the journey looks like. Now you have to identify where you are most in flow. Is it in a meeting? Is it on a call? Is it on email? Which parts of the flow, which parts are you in flow at different mediums? And you can design your sales process so that you enjoy it and you're a natural at it, because otherwise your discomfort with sales will translate to the client feeling uncomfortable. And you don't want that.
Got it.